Shalom Aleichem, Beruchim Boachem. Welcome to our first video of Shorshim, roots. Shorshim in Hebrew means roots. A root in Hebrew makes the majority of the language. From a root, we are able to establish a verb, a noun, an adjective, and so forth. The root will consist of 3 consonants. There are some roots that may appear with 2 consonants, but they actually have 3. Like what you see here. Lamed Nun is actually written 2 ways. Lamed Waw Nun and Lamed Yod Nun. Okay? You learn the root, you learn the language. Here is our first root. You have here Aleph, Beth, and another Beth. From this root, you're able to form many other words. Our first word is Aleph, Beth, Yod, Beth. Do you see the similarities between this word and the root? Yes. Aleph, Beth, and Beth, except the Yod. Now in Hebrew, in addition to the root consonants, Aleph, Waw, Yod, Mem, and Tau are used to form other words. So from this one root, Aleph, Beth, Beth, you have this word, our first word, Aleph, Beth, Yod, Beth, okay? Aviv. Now what does Aviv mean? It deals with blossoming, it deals with new life, it deals with springing forth, it deals with springtime, it deals with corn, and it deals with grain. Now the latter half, these 2 latter words, are a bit different than the former here that you see. Corn and grain. Now from corn within that period of time was an essential or a staple food within that region. Corn represents food. Corn represented currency, bartering, right? So from corn you have grain. From grain you have kemah, you have flour. Okay? Without corn you have no grain, you have no kemah, okay? Which means starvation. So it was essential. Now this deals with springtime. Springtime you have blossoming, you have new time to plant, you have new time for plants to spring forth, right? So during Aviv you have sprouting or creation of new life, okay? You have animals producing offspring, you have the birds and the bees. Majority of things that come forth, that come into fruition, happens during this time. Okay, that is why it is the first month of our calendar year and not during winter. Next word you have Aleph, Beth, right? Ev. This Beth becomes Veth at the end. Okay, so Aleph Beth becomes Aleph Veth. Ev. It's a shoot, budding, greenness, freshness, new life. Okay, I went over this within the beginner video. Okay, Ev is exactly what this is. Okay, and it stems from Aleph, Beth, and Beth. Next, we have Aleph, Beth, and another Beth, which is a Vav. A Vav. Okay? And a Vav is no longer used. It's an unused ancient verb, probably dealing with an inclination or desire or wanting. Okay, this is no longer used at all. So let's summarize. We have a root that is made up of 3 consonants. From those 3 consonants, you have other consonants that are added to make up a word. Okay? And that's what you see before you. That is the premise of Hebrew roots.